All right, guys, today we're talking about Copart, IAI, all these different auction places that sell cars, sell hundreds of cars a day, well, supposedly, and continue to do so at, I would say, a full retail price for wrecked cars. You've seen me make videos before in the last few years. We made one about 3 years ago just about this subject. A lot of stuff's changed since then. I still look all the time, try to find stuff on there for a price. Now more than ever, it is more difficult to buy stuff on there. All the car dealers that I know are saying we're not buying stuff there at all anymore. And I think there's many different factors to this. Why these cars are selling for so much. The first thing is 90% of people buying these cars are from different countries. That means that they're dealing with a different currency, a market that bears more money for a foreign car at this point. So they could pay a lot more for it. Then you have your guys that are going and buying a wrecked car that's not fixable, a flood car, then they go find a car that's wrecked and they piece them together. But that's kind of a thing in the past. You don't see people doing that a lot anymore at all. The car markets are so high right now. A lot of guys are just buying stuff from Copart and trying just to resell it. And we've seen this lately. There was a 2014 Porsche Cayman S. It was wrecked. It was wrecked bad. Front, back, like not fixable wrecked. He wanted 14 grand for it. In no way, shape, or form is that worth 14 grand. You know, a decent one was in the 20s. So, and it carries a salvage title. So you're never going to come out on that. You're never even going to break even on that. Right now, it's very difficult to tell what a car is worth with a salvage title. And of course, if it has a flood title, it's never going to be worth as much. And it's going to be hard to sell, no doubt. And it probably takes in between a half and a quarter off the overall sale price, something with a salvage title. You're just not going to get as much for it. Even if you took before and after pictures and pictures all through getting it fixed so they could see, people are still scared of that. And then you're trying to sell it for a price that you can just go buy another car it's not wrecked for, and it's easy. It depends on what state you live in, depends on what country you live in. A bank may not loan on a car with a prior salvage title. And that's another issue too. In certain states, you cannot even get a salvage title car converted to a prior salvage so you could drive it on the street. You have to get that done in a different state that will allow you to do that. So that comes to guys like Sam Crack, Hoovie's Garage, Tavarish, guys like that buy primarily Copart stuff. And there's two things about that. One, most of those guys are sponsored by Copart, right? The biggest thing of it is those guys aren't making money on the car. They're losing money on the car itself. They're making money on views on YouTube, right? They're in a niche to where YouTube allows them the views, right? They show their videos to a ton of people, millions of people, and that allows them to make millions of dollars, essentially. We're in a small niche. YouTube doesn't show our stuff to a lot of people. Off and on they do, but they kind of throttle the channel back, you know. And probably more or less we're mainly BMW, so it does shrink down the market. But we see that with all the channels. You know, even the MRE channel, they limit everything on it. So I'm not sure what the protocol is to get in good where you could just go buy a car every day. But we're definitely not to that point yet. But a lot of people are, and that's why you see a lot of information out there that isn't necessarily true. I'm not going to say it's not true. It's a skewed version of reality. And a lot of you guys watch these big channels say, I'm going to go buy a Copart car. And you get on there and look at the prices, and the pre-bid before it even hits auction is way past what you ever want to pay. And then you watch it on auction day, and it goes to a price that over what you could buy one not wrecked for that runs fine. And you see that a lot. The other thing is fees. Copart fees this year just introduced new fees. So right now it's $400 you have to pay for your annual fee. At that point in time, you have to pay massive lot fees. You have to pay auction fees. So I don't know what the numbers are. It's a whole sliding scale. There's different websites you could actually get like a Copart calculator on. And a lot of what those sites do is calculate the current fees. So let's say you paid $2,000 for a car. You're going to have $400 to $600 in fees, probably $600 or more in fees. And now to buy a $2,000 car, you also got to pay $400 up front just for the website fees. So unless you're using that all the time, that doesn't make sense. And I think why they did it, they had a lot of people buying cars, not paying for them. The fees were $100 a year. Is that going to make people not go on Copart and buy cars? Yes and no. A scammer will still get on there and buy cars, whether it's $100 or $400, because they could angle it to where they can make money on it. Who that's going to keep out of there is your average everyday guy wanting to go buy cars, or a small dealer that if you don't buy more than one car a year from Copart, it's not worth it. And those guys have turned their back a long time ago. You know, it's an ongoing situation. When will it stop? I really don't know. I guess as long as people from different countries, from Africa, from UK, from France, are still buying these cars, it'll keep going, I guess, at some point. How are they exporting all this stuff? I really don't know. It's a very timely situation to export anything right now. And cost-wise, costs will be going back up. Price of fuel is going back up. That raises all that stuff. Right now, I would say the transport time would be pretty much excruciating if you're trying to buy a car here, ship it to a different country, and sell it there. That's just my 2 cents on it. The last car we bought from Copart was the Black E60. We tried to buy that yellow Porsche, what was it, about a month ago, I think. And, you know, we were looking at it. I was thinking, if I get this for 10 grand, it's going to cost $2,000 in fees, essentially, to get it out the door. Like maybe then we might be able to get $15,000 or $18,000 out of it. But then it has a salvage title. It needs $5 grand worth of work. And you're doing the math in your head just real quick. And it's like, no. So then as the car came up on auction, before it came up on auction, it was pre-bid to $9,700. So we didn't even watch it go live or nothing. It was clearly going to get more bids and going to be past what we wanted to bid on it if it's pre-bid to that. And it was wrecked. It needed all kinds of stuff. And that's it. But that's my take on Copart in 2021. It definitely has gotten a lot worse, and no hope of it getting any better. That's for sure. So if you're going to buy something from there, I'm not telling you not to, but definitely beware. And that's my take on it.